Okay, so you understand what to do the problem, but you're maybe stuck on how to actually solve it. So I'm going to help you with some strategies. I'm going to give you 3 different strategies. Again, if I ask you to pause the video, please pause the video and try that. That might mean you pause it for 8, 10 minutes while you're solving it, maybe 20, and then you can always come back to it. But remember, I am not just the person that's going to give you the answers. You have to actually work on solving them. Okay, so let's just kind of imagine. Here's my 512 pencils. I know it's not 512. I know they're not pencils, but basically we have 512, and we need to split these evenly between 32 students. Okay, so the problem we're trying to solve is 512 divided by 32. Okay, we're going to go over 3 strategies that you can do for this today: a ratio table, a picture, and repeated subtraction. Okay, now maybe you know the standard algorithm division. We haven't quite learned that yet, but if you do know that, that's another strategy you can use. Okay, so right now I want you to pause it and think about a strategy that you could maybe try. If you're still stuck, just continue watching. But if this maybe sparks something, try it on your own, then you can come back and see how you did. All right, so we're back. Well, let's start with a ratio table. Okay, so this is going to be the total number of pencils. All right, so that's total number of pencils and pencils per kid. Okay, so if we know that everybody gets 1 pencil, that means we've used 32 pencils. Well, remember, we have 512 pencils. So we need to get this total number up to 512. Now, I could go and do 2 is 64. I multiplied it by 2. And then I could go and do 3 and add 1 more, so I add 32 more pencils. That's going to take a really long time, okay? Instead, I'm going to say, okay, well, I remember from my estimate that I can at least have 10 pencils per kid, and that's really easy. 10 is easy to multiply. Make it easy on yourself. So if every kid gets 10 pencils, that means I used a total of 320 pencils. Hey, that's a pretty nice little chunk. Okay, well, I knew that 20 was too much, so I'm going to divide 10 in half to get 5, and divide 320 in half to get 160. All right, now if I do 10 plus 5 pencils per kid, that means they're going to have 15 pencils per kid. Now I want you to pause it and think about the next step. 10 pencils, that meant 10 pencils per kid were 320 total. 5 pencils per kid were 160 pencils total. So pause it and try to figure out what is it going to be if we do 15 pencils per kid. Did you pause it? If you didn't, pause it. Try it. Okay, so we're back. Well, that means I need to add, well, when they had 10, it was 320 plus 160. Now, I'm not going to go off to the side and do that. You might have to do that. So if you need to do that, pause it and do that. All right, and we're back here. I can look at this. 320, 32 plus 10 is 42. 42 plus 6, 480 pencils. Hey, I'm getting pretty close to 512. I can't add another 160. That's going to take me over 512. I'm going to just go one at a time now. So if I was at 15 and I add 1 pencil for every kid, I'm now at 16 pencils per kid. This means I need to add 32 pencils because I just gave everybody another one. That's basically saying, hey, I thought 15 was enough, but I still have some pencils. I'm going to give everybody 1 more. Okay, so I give everybody 1 more. There you go. I'm at 512 pencils. You got there, but what does this actually mean? This means when you took the 512 pencils and split it between the kids, the pencils per kid were 16. Okay, so you can come back over here and write 16. And you'll have to fill it in up there. Okay, that's one strategy, a ratio table. Okay, this strategy down here is also going to be kind of connected. But When we write division problems, sometimes we write it 512 divided by 16, and then we put the, pause it, and remind me, what's that called, the answer to the division problem? You got it. The quotient, up here, okay? I'm going to show you how you can do a picture that looks exactly like this, but it's expanded. The 512 is going to be in there, okay? So I'm going to make this side 16, okay? And I need this inside here that you're going to start to see develop has to get to 512, okay? So the way I'm going to do that is, well, if I have 10 groups of 16, so I'm putting 10 up here, 10 groups of 16 using this method is going to be, oh, I know that, is 100, or sorry, I made a mistake. This is supposed to be divided by 32, because there's 32 kids. If you caught my mistake, you're awesome, okay? So, if you did and you're like, Mr. Bushler, change it. I did that on purpose. Actually, I didn't. I made a mistake. Okay, so, sorry, 512 divided by 32. We already know the answer 16, but let's go through this strategy, a picture. So we have 32 kids here. Every kid's getting 10 pencils. That means 320 pencils have been split up. So come over here, 512. This is kind of like our repeated subtraction. You're going to see how all these strategies are connected, okay? Minus 320, do my subtraction, okay? And you can pause it and do the subtraction if you want to, or you can just watch me. I know many of you know how to. Okay, I still have 192 pencils to hand out. I couldn't hand out another 10, but I could hand out 5 more. And if I hand out 5 more groups of 32, this just looks like an area model, okay? That is 160, because 10 is half of, or 5 is half of 10. 160 is half of 320. Okay, so 160, I'm left with my 192. I need to come and subtract the 160 out. 2, 3. Hey, look, I'm left with 32. That's really easy. That means 1 more pencil for every kid. So I put my 1 more pencil for every kid up there. And inside here is 32. Now, if you were to add all of these up, that's your 512. Now, look at this, and then look at this. 512. There, inside here, is your 512. That's your dividend. Your divisor, 32, it's off to the side here, just like up here. So we just kind of blew that up. Well, now we got to find the quotient. The quotient is the addition of all of these groups that we did. So again, you get your 16. Okay? So there's a picture way that can work. When you do this, first thing to do is figure out the divisor, set that up, and then just start taking out groups that are easy. Taking out 11 groups is not that easy. 11 groups of 32 is not as easy as taking out 10. Use the numbers that are going to be easiest for you. Okay, which leads us to our last one, which is going to be very similar to that. But let's say you don't need the picture. 512 divided by 32. Okay, so take out 10 groups of 32. Put your 10 up here, and we're going to be stacking them up. Okay? And then I take out 10 groups of 32. 10 times 32 is 320. Now, I already did that over there, so I know it's going to be 192. Okay? All right. So 192, I can't take out another 10 groups, but I could take out 5 more groups. Okay? And actually, let's change it up a little bit, because you might say, oh, why do you just keep doing 10 and 5? Do I do that every time? Let's take out, well, we can look here at the ratio table. 2 groups of 32 is 64. Okay, I go and subtract 8 to 128 left. I can take out 2 more groups, stack it again. So now 2 times 32, take out 64 more, subtract it. I'm at 64. Hey, 64, that's easy. I know that's 2 groups. I'm left with a remainder of nothing. I need to add all of these up. There's my 16 again. So I just gave you 3 different strategies, okay? You are going to see more division problems. You can refer back to these strategies. I will be showing you again. Remember, I said this is a difficult stuff, so it might be a little tough, but you guys can do it.